Hello, my loves. How are you? Today I'm going to dive into some messages for the Divine Feminine Collective and how many are being called to step into next levels of holding space to embody and stabilize the sacred union energies in physicality while also navigating space for all the other areas of her life. So we're going to dive into that, but I wanted to let you really know really quick that I just posted a Patreon video where these messages were sort of birthed from, and it started out, I was just talking about how many of us are being called to sort of look at or connect with past relationships. They may be romantic or non-romantic, but sort of revisiting those and tying up any loose ends that might be necessary. And in many cases, some of you may have already resolved it, but the other parties or other people are actually going through their next levels of healing. And so your attention is being required to help facilitate those next levels of evolution for the collective. All right. So that's pretty cool. But while I was in the midst of that, my male cat, Lucky, came in and brought a message that was very clearly from the Divine Masculine Collective. And we dove into some of those messages around how the masculines are aware of their connection to the feminine. And so if you're interested in connecting with that, I'll drop that in the pinned comment. But again, I want to drop into the feminine messages here right now. And I'm going to start where I left off on that message. Um, and we'll see how it weaves together. So, this Strength card and the Hierophant card came out together, and then the High Priestess came in the sideways position. And this was really dropping into how the feminines are actually being called to step into both High Priestess and Empress energies. That combination of her capacity to be still and silent and surrendered to the higher power when needed, but also have that capacity to fully step into that embodiment of the sacred feminine energies in physicality. And this did not come in on the Patreon. This sort of was like opening up for you guys here. And what I felt as I was preparing for this, it feels that the feminines very, very deeply in this moment are being called into activating more deeply and focusing more deeply into the high heart area. Of course, you may work on any other areas you're called, but I felt guided to share this part with you or to bring that focus or awareness or confirmation for you. I actually remember a few days ago somebody mentioned this in the comments, and I was like, oh, I've been feeling that myself. And there's lots of work being recalibrated in that bridge from the heart to the throat in that high heart area, which also houses the thymus, which is our immune system. And it's also the space that actually houses the information, one of the spaces that houses information to support the energies and essences of agelessness. Okay, my loves. And so we'll see where this goes. You can look into that for yourself, learning about the thymus, learning about ways that you can support yourself with that, but also, again, working energetically with that intention of the high heart and really bridging your voice and your communication with your heart space in a new way. And I know many of you have already been doing this, but I'm feeling very, very deeply that something new is wanting to be born out of the heart space and come through the voice, okay? Through the voice, through your communication. And what we've been talking about on Patreon has been connected to this stream about how the communication is being recalibrated within the twin flame divine counterpart connections. And it's sort of opening up these new pockets of energy to be evolved into in new ways is what's coming through. Okay. So I want to open this up and see what would like to come through more deeply for the feminines and what she can pay attention to, be aware of. Oh, wow. You guys are not going to believe this. This fell out of my lap. It was like this earlier. This from the other deck fell out of my lap. Okay, so this is clearly the essence that's coming through. So the feminines are really, really, really being called into that dance of her capacity to surrender, to trust the higher power, to trust her higher self, to listen to those inner knowings in very new and deep ways. And again, how it was coming forth for me is also simultaneously knowing when it's the divine timing to share, to open up, to communicate. And what I am sensing is that you, as sacred divine feminines, may be aware that you have a message or energy to share with someone else or others. Okay. But you may also simultaneously have a knowing that right at this moment is not the exact timing. Okay. Wow. This is so mirrored with the masculine messages that came over on Patreon. But it's this embodiment of this essence is being aware that there's something that you can support or that you might have a remedy for someone or a perspective for someone, but then also being so stable and centered and calm that you have no need to share it until it is the perfect timing. And what's coming through is that you sort of just drop into that. You're willing to be of service and share the message if it's aligned with that person and their soul. So you sort of see that there might be this potential for you to share something, but you take a step back, set that intention that you're open to that, but then you're just going to be with it. And if and when they are ready to receive it, they will let you know. Okay. And you'll just know, you'll feel that it's correct and it's aligned for you to share. Or you may have a sense that there's parts of it for you to share, or your energetic presence might be more beneficial than all of the words, or maybe just your presence is sort of embodying the essences of what you want to share, and so they can receive it in that way if they're not exactly ready to hear the message or the words. And this feels very important for all of us, of course, but clearly the feminine energies right now, I feel like a lot of it is that you have trained yourself to step into your standards and to be the embodiment of truth. Or you're in, we're all in those processes continuously, but you've been practicing and embodying so much that now these are sort of those next levels and layers. And what I'm sensing is that many are going to be called to do this simultaneously within their physical world connections, family, friends, past relationships, past connections, new relationships, as well as embodiment of that sacred union. So also preparing for, if you're not already holding these types of spaces with your counterpart, twin flame energy as well. And for those of you who wonder why I say twin flames and divine counterparts, is because I'm honoring that there are different types of connections. And the messages that I share here are often ones that can be supportive for all of those types of divine, loving, sacred union, initiation energies. Okay. Just felt guided to share that really quick. But with the masculines in this Hierophant energy and the feminines in the High Priestess, and sort of I can sense where the feminines are being called into this middle ground. And this very, very deep trust for herself and the divine is allowing and holding space for the masculines to simultaneously drop into deeper states of trust with themselves and their connection to the divine. And like again, there was more that came through in that other messages around the masculines being aware, but also holding for that divine timing. So what I'm sensing is there are many sacred union partnerships that are in some of these last stages of recalibration before they're becoming more fully manifested in the physical. And we're moving into a time where many are being called to really prepare to stabilize and sustain sacred union energies. And this is being called to be done in all of our relationships and all of our connections. So everyone you interact with is practice for your counterpart, but also vice versa. What you're learning with your counterpart is also practice for your other relationships. And this acknowledgement can be very, very powerful. And I kind of had this message last night. I was thinking around doing a few videos or a series or something of that nature around signs or focus or sort of ways to prepare for sacred union, sustaining sacred union. And if you guys think you would be interested in that, let me know in the comments because around this time last year was when I did the Inner Union series. And I'm really sensing the collective here that resonates with harmonious hearts is sort of either moving into on the cusp of or already began those energies of moving back into a reunion, but like the sacred union energies. And I say that I feel guided to this because even when you come back into connection, or if you're already in connection, these connections, these are always evolving and growing. And so it's important as you feel guided to continue to grow and learn and work on yourself and restabilize into your heart and learning that dance of the self-love and the love for another and the unconditional love energies are that unconditional love for yourself and the unconditional love for the other. And so the things that we learned in our learning in our inner union process are then also deeply mirrored and expanded upon in the sacred union stabilization energies. So if that's something you would be interested in, let me know in the comments and we'll see what sort of evolves in what we co-create from that stream. If my intuition is on with that topic, let me know. Okay, my loves. I think that I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to let you go enjoy and embody into these energies for the rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Again, I'll put that information in the pinned comment. And also, just a quick reminder I have that Sacred Circle of Love Embodying Joy group session coming up this Wednesday. And there's two times, a 3 o'clock and a 6 o'clock Eastern time. And it's a group that's offered by donation for those of you who feel called. All right, my loves. Once again, hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Loving these gorgeous energies that are coming in. Keep up the beautiful work and have lots of love on this beautiful day. Take care. Bye.